Can't figure out what to binge next? This is the video for you. With millions of shows out there, it's quite impossible to figure out what to watch. Lucky for you, we've got an amazing suggestion. The new FX series The Bear might just be one of the best dramedies released this year. Seriously, you can just taste the tension in this show. In this video, we'll talk about why The Bear should be your next watch. First up, it's an accurate depiction of what it's like to work in a restaurant kitchen. Let's start with a disclaimer. Don't watch the show if you're on a diet, because it'll definitely make you cheat. If you like movies and TV shows about restaurants, this show is the one for you. And no, it's not about making a meal out of bears. The show follows Carmen Cami Brzado, a young chef from the world of fine dining, who returns home to Chicago to run his family's sandwich shop, the original beef of Chicagoland, after a tragic death in his family. It's a hyper-realistic look at the behind-the-scenes of running a restaurant. Many chefs have called it the most accurate representation of a restaurant kitchen on TV. And they're right. The Bear perfectly captures the moments of chaos during peak eating hours, the cutting meal planning, the yelling, the burns, and everything else that comes with being a chef. It's stressful, but in the best, most hilarious way. You literally feel like you're right there in the thick of things, which makes for some great TV. If you think running a restaurant is an easy job, The Bear will definitely change your mind. It also features fast-paced shots of some delicious food. In episode 4, for example, we see a chocolate cake being made from scratch, and it got all of us salivating. Next, Jeremy Allen White is absolutely amazing. Obviously, good writing makes a good show, but you can write an Oscar winner and still fail if the actors can't bring the story to life. And let us tell you, when it comes to the main lead, The Bear knocked it out of the park. We remember Jeremy Allen White from his roles in Shameless and the Amazon Prime original Homecoming. Both shows had him as a part of the main cast, but he wasn't the star of the show in either of them. The Bear gave him the opportunity to shine as Carmy, and boy, did he take it. He's an absolute phenomenal actor, and his skills are on full display in this show. White really commits to the story of the series and to his character. He's got it all, from the Chicago accent to the restaurant lingo. You really believe that he is Carmy, because he embodies him so well from start to finish. Carmy is going through a seriously rough time in his life, and trying to rebuild his sandwich shop is making it even harder. White delivers such a compelling performance, you can't help but feel bad for him and root for him, even through his dark moments. Truly a sensational performance, which deserves more recognition. Moving on, it shows what it's like to build a business from the ground up. The Bear is a hilarious show. Seriously, you'll find yourself in fits of laughter. But what we like about it is that it's not just plain comedy, it's very grounded in reality. And it's refreshing to see that in a world of totally unrealistic shows, it's human, it's relatable, and that's what makes it so good. The Bear explores what it takes to rebuild a business, in this case a restaurant, from a professional point of view, but it also shows the toll it takes on a person's mind and life. Chefs work very long hours, and we can see this from the opening shot, when Carmy literally wakes up on the counter of his shop, having worked so long the night before. The lead is trying his absolute hardest to turn his business into a good eating establishment, but the poor guy runs into problems at every turn. His mental state isn't in a great place either. You really feel for Carmy, and many of us can relate to him too. And all of this makes this show absolutely worth watching. Next up, Beyond the Kitchen. Yes, The Bear is mainly a show about the behind the scenes of a restaurant kitchen. Yes, it's a show made for foodies. Yes, the original beef of Chicagoland is the central point of the series, but it goes way deeper. It's so much more than a kitchen story. Along with chocolate cakes and beef sandwiches, The Bear also deals with issues like grief, obsession, and addiction. Talk about a well-rounded story. Carmy only returns to Chicago because of the death of his brother, whom he was not on good terms with, and the series follows him struggling to come to terms with the tragedy. He's also tasked with cleaning up the mess his late brother made of the restaurant finances, which involved unpaid taxes, chaotic bookkeeping, and dealing with crazy family members. Really goes to show that running a restaurant is way more than chopping vegetables and boiling pasta. Props to the producers and writers for creating a multi-dimensional, raw, and yet highly entertaining series. And now, a great look at masculinity. You know, a show has done a good job when you find yourself analyzing the characters. What makes Carmy, who is honestly an average white man, so likable? Besides his ability to make great food, many people have said it's because he is clearly different from many other male characters we see on TV. With Carmy, we see an interesting kind of masculinity. He's completely different from other male leads, even the men on the show, like Richie, his brother's best friend. In Richie, we see red flags and toxic masculinity. He's rude, he's angry, he throws around anti-gay slurs. Classic 2000s era male character. Were we really supposed to find this attractive back in the day? Not Carmy though. He's a rare male character that lets us in on his insecurities. We see him struggling, grieving, and tired. He is confident, but in a quiet way. You can tell that this is a man exhausted by the world, and he has no time for acting macho. Maybe that's why he's so attractive. He may be messy, but he has nothing to prove when it comes to his masculinity, and it's a breath of fresh air. Boys, take notes. Finally, you'll love it if you love music. This might be a secondary reason to watch the show, but we want to include it anyway. The music in The Bear is just, pardon the pun. We've got some classic 80s and 90s dad rock, and if you're into that genre, you'll love this show. The soundtrack features legendary music by bands like Pearl Jam, Genesis, and Counting Crows, and it's a delight to listen to. The show also uses music in a brilliant way. It's not thrusting in certain songs to cater to its audience. The soundtrack makes sense for the vibe of the show, and it fits with the characters. The music adds to the story and brings the scenes to life, much like Stranger Things and its use of that Kate Bush song. So, rock fans, we've got your weekend plans sorted. And now for some other news. First up, is there going to be a season 2 of The Bear? Those of us who have already binge-watched the first season of The Bear were dying for more from Carmy and his sandwich shop. So, is the series returning for a second season? Yes, chef! FX has officially renewed the series for season 2. Just a month after its smashing premiere, the show has apparently even exceeded the expectations of the producers, and they can't wait to work on another season. Although we don't have a release date just yet, we know that the series will be returning to our screens sometime in 2023, and we can't wait. Up next, who will be in the cast of The Bear Season 2? Who's returning for more madness at the sandwich shop? Unless the showrunners decide to switch up the casting, we can expect to see the original lineup come back for more comedy and chaos. The expected cast for Season 2 includes the phenomenal Jeremy Allen White as Carmy, Evan Moss-Branckrich as Richie, Ayo Edebiri as Sydney, and Abby Elliott as Natalie Sugar Brazedo. We can also expect more iconic guest stars like Molly Ringwald, who made a cameo in Season 1. Who's excited? Finally, what will the next season of The Bear be about? Although specific plot points for Season 2 haven't been confirmed yet, the next season will mainly focus on keeping the charm of the Chicago sandwich shop, while trying to stay afloat. We'll see Carmy and his family try to make the restaurant better, while also dealing with all kinds of drama on the side. It'll be messy, it'll be chaotic, and it'll most definitely be hilarious. Want to immerse yourself in the world of The Bear? Get a Hulu subscription, or borrow someone's account. To catch up on Season 1 while we all wait for Season 2 and more craziness in the kitchen. That's a wrap for this video. Have we convinced you to give The Bear a watch? If you already watched it, what'd you think? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one!